as an investment banker doing?
Right.
Focused on this issue. First, I'm sitting here in Mitch's seat. So, but I will tell you that it is critically important to, I deal with very large multinational corporations who are incredibly focused. Right now, most of these guys get 60% of their business from outside the United States. They're U.S. companies. But they're very focused on developing countries. And they're actually very focused. There's an alignment between what we're talking about here on the healthcare issues and what the IBMs and the GEs, and I can go through a large range of companies that are focused on in developing. In particular, if I focus on the sub-Saharan, where we, and I have familiar with sub-Sahara because we're one of the largest banks, Barclays in Africa, sort of where, you know, think about where the sun shined on the British Empire, and that's where we are. And, but in any event, this issue is critical for that particular population. And when Tom talks about the lack of funding that is available in these countries, the opportunity that I think we have as a nation, that the U.S. has, is to be a convener on this topic. And everybody thinks about, well, where's the funding going to come from? But major corporations will work with you on this to actually create what I would call the new type of /NGO government corporate experience, the shared value type of initiative. And the data in this report, and there was a lot of discussion. I was one of the more interesting, this was not a group that agreed on everything, but there was, which was what made it fun. But the data's fabulous, and the ability to be able to look at what is actually occurring, especially for me looking at the sub-Sahara, and where could you, especially with technology, for example, HP is very active right now in Africa, very focused on what they can do on healthcare side. So there's a tremendous opportunity to act, and the world needs this type of leadership now, because we're economically, as we all know, extremely fragile. And with the kind of number that we have at a 21.3 trillion, okay, maybe it's off by 10%. Who cares? It's whatever that number is, it's huge. And it's lost opportunity and it's lost human capital. And that human capital, for what is a very minor cost, can be added in. And quite frankly, I think it's critical.
You've heard all three testimonies.